two MVPs, two of the most unguardable players in the NBA, and the worst contract in the entire league. The Russell Westbrook trade has completely changed the landscape of the NBA's Western Conference. The Thunder are now going into rebuilding mode after 11 years of winning, and the Houston Rockets are now considered one of the favorites for the NBA title. But the Westbrook trade has had much more impact on the NBA than most people realize. So here are my winners and losers of the Russell Westbrook trade. The winners. Russell Westbrook. Westbrook has been stuck in a continuous time loop for years in OKC, making the playoffs only to be eliminated by players like Joe Ingles and Patrick Beverley. Seriously though, it seemed like Russ was destined to be one of the greatest regular season players of all time, but never really got to do anything in the playoffs while being the number one option. In Houston, Russ gets a clean start and a Hall of Fame caliber friend and teammate in his trade to Houston. Russ couldn't get it done with Paul George, so in the wildest scenario possible, he has actually gotten an upgrade in his running mate with James Harden. Mike D'Antoni will have to adjust his system to deal with one of the worst three-point shooters in the NBA, but I'm confident in the wizardry of D'Antoni to find a way to incorporate Russ as the primary option alongside James Harden. And at the end of the day, Westbrook is still going to make $38 million and then $47 million when he's 33 years old. So honestly, he could have gone to the Washington Wizards or the New York Knicks and still be a winner. Daryl Morey. Morey has been in Houston since 2008. He inherited one of the most underrated teams in NBA history with Tracy McGrady, Yao Ming, and a still relevant Metta World Peace. And since then has kept the Rockets as a solid playoff team for nearly his entire tenure, only missing the playoffs 3 times in his 12 years. He pulled off the James Harden heist, but with the new owner of the Rockets, Tillman Fertitta, having great expectations for a team that's never been able to get over the hump and make to the NBA Finals, this blockbuster move for Daryl Morey is the perfect way to ensure he's the GM for the next 3 to 5 years. This move shows that Daryl Morey is committed to winning, and while that may be seen as desperation in the eyes of some, trading all of your first round picks for years and years in exchange for a player that may not even fit with the current system is a move that shows how desperate Daryl Morey actually is. We'll see how this move ends up hurting the Rockets after the James Harden era years down the line. But for now, Daryl Morey has held up the Rockets as an NBA title contender. The losers. The OKC Thunder as a franchise. When you thought of the OKC Thunder, you thought of the name Russell Westbrook. Now without a real star to replace Westbrook and the excitement he brought, no, CP3 does not count. The Thunder are a lost franchise in what I like to call NBA limbo. Not bad enough to tank for a top pick, but not good enough to build around Chris Paul and be an NBA title contender. They're stuck with Chris Paul, and while he's not a bad player, he's not Russell Westbrook, and is not the player to try and build a contender around at this point in his career. The multitude of draft picks are a gigantic question, and as they total 15 first-round picks in the next 6 years, none of them are guaranteed to land a superstar to restart the Thunder franchise. Chris Paul. CP3 is now on one of the most mediocre teams in the Western Conference. He has decent pieces in Steven Adams and Danilo Gallinari, and has an assortment of random talent throughout their roster. Chris Paul has officially lost his chance to win an NBA title, but if he's able to maneuver his way into a buyout, he may be the final piece of a championship caliber team with a team such as the Lakers. Chris Paul is going to command the floor of a team that may be a game or two above 500. They may sneak their way into the playoffs, but they'll most likely get bounced in the first round, also becoming the second incarnation of Westbrook in a way. A fantastic player that leads the team, but cannot get over the playoff hump. And with Shai Gilgeous-Alexander being the prize of the Paul George trade, don't be surprised if the Thunder try and run a two-guard system with Paul and Alexander, which means that Chris Paul will be out of OKC in the very near future. Guys, let me know who your winners and losers are of this OKC trade. Let me know what you thought of the trade in general in the comments section below. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.